Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay guys, so today we just want to get over it and done with the gold for the day because I really didn't actually sell an awful lot because this video is more precise. We have just finished yesterday, thanks to a load of Discord subs, a load of the volatile water. We managed to actually get all 1,200 of it, but we'll get into that in just a second. Now, that being the case, the gold for the day is a 3,959 gold. Things that sold were Galley Banquet, 38 of those for 1,429 gold, Drums of the Maelstrom, 28 of those for 1,009 gold, and the Albino River Car for 1,094 gold. The Albino River Car, by the way, is a battle pet that you can buy from a vendor in WoD, and basically it just costs you a bit of Apexus crystals and some of those, but we'll be covering that later in another video. I just wanted to see if that's sold. But aside from that, that's a little bit of gold coming in, and then let's get on to the actual good part of the video. Now, as you well know, for the majority of the week I have been farming up, trying to get enough materials for 10 Vial of the Sands. We have finally done it, and we have all of the materials. So that being the case, we're just going to send over a load of gold over to our alchemist Zathrash, and we're going to send over 290,000 gold to him because he's going to be buying out all of the different parts. So back down to 334,000. And the next things of note is we don't have the rep for crafting the Vial of the Sands for 24,000 every single one just yet. So what I've done is basically the rundown before we actually get into crafting all of these mounts is we're going to create these ones for the 29,000 gold. We're not going to hold on to this because we're going to resupply and restock the Vial of the Sands while we're getting that rep up for the next one, and then we'll be producing it for a lot less when we actually finally get hold of that rep, as that rep grind is going to take quite a long time in order to do. But now that being the case, let's jump over to our alchemist. Okay, so when it comes down towards our Vial of the Sands, we have sent over all of the materials that we actually need. So let's just open up all of this stuff and make sure that we're going to get all of our gold and all that stuff right there. Let's just delete those little bits that are coming from this right now, and hopefully we have enough of our stuff in order to make a load of gold. Our gold got sent over to our characters, so that's pretty good. And that being the case, we can now craft our Vial of the Sands. Now, the one thing of note while we're actually going to fly over there and pick up our stuff, we're going to actually go over what we actually did to get a hold of the volatile water. Now, with the volatile water, we went all the way over to the Twilight Highlands, and in the Twilight Highlands, roughly around about this area here, we went on all of our druids. I gathered a group together on the Discord, and thank you everyone who helped. And as you can see on the screen right now, we basically pinpointed where each of us were going to go. What we basically did was we just mass killed all of these guys. These force respawn whenever you kill them in the particular area, so that's why we're all spread out. And then after like 2 minutes, we all go loot, and then we just loot all of the different types of stuff. Now this is pretty damn useful in order to get a lot of volatile water really damn fast, is by doing it in a group, hence why we went with that. Thanks to Yamo for yesterday's video as well, but he actually joined and helped me with that also, as well as Dark Anime and a load of the other guys that actually were on the Discord as well when I actually posted and said, I need a hand. Basically, we all got into the group, we burned them all down, and in 2 hours we had our 1,200. We actually got 1,400 by the end of those 2 hours, but the more the merrier, so to speak. You don't want to waste your potion of treasure finding that you are using with this. Now, one thing of note, I did use a macro for my Moonfire as we were all druids, and it was /tar obs, and that was just to target the mobs in question that we're going to be killing, and then /cast Moonfire, because that's our one-shot kill, and then slash clear target, and that would just move on to the next one. So it's a really simple macro in order to use, but it got the job done, and I found it to be quite helpful in the long run. Now, that being the case, let's run over and buy all of our different parts for our alchemy. So we'll just clear the queue right there, and we'll just go into our alchemy. We'll just type in Vial of the Sands, So basically what we need is 120 true gold. So we're going to type that in right now, and we're going to craft that while we're doing all of that jazz. So basically this is just going to be crafting all of this true gold, because we need 120 of these, as it's 12 for one Vial of the Sands, and obviously we're making 10, so 120 true gold. Obviously we can make more with the true gold, but for obvious reasons we're going to keep that as a supply in the guild bank tab for when we do our next batch of 10. So this will be a recurring thing, and the restocking won't be as bad when we're actually getting up our materials for the next batch of those materials. Now, aside from all of this, we do have to craft quite a lot of other things, which is going to be flasks of wind. We need to craft 80 of each, and for obvious reasons, if I was a transmute master, I could be definitely getting more true gold. By crafting 120 of these, it would definitely proc. We do have our deep stone oil to actually craft as well, and that one actually varies, because that can craft 1 to 2 of deep stone oil from the 80. So any remaining ones we can use for our next additional crafts of the Vial of the Sands. Basically, what my plan with the Vial of the Sands is, we craft 10, and then as soon as we've sold 8, we will then restock back up to 10 again, and then we'll go back and through that and through that. So basically every time it goes back down to 2, we then refarm all of those materials. So for obvious reasons, this is taking quite a while in order to do, but definitely well worth it when we're actually trying to get a hold of all this amount of gold moving forward. It's definitely going to be worthwhile. Now, one thing to mention when it comes towards the volatile water farm as well, when we were actually farming up, in the 5-man group, we managed to get a load of different things, especially when it came to greens. So personally, I vended them all. Usually I would, however, put them in my guild bank tab and just disenchant them, and pretty much what you should really do is disenchant those for the materials, and then you can sell those on the auction house, as we got quite a lot of ember silk cloth as well. And I just wanted my volatile water, as I was like, damn, I just want to get it over and done with. Going with that, I am posting a edited version of that farm in order to give you a gold per hour. It roughly came to about 20,000 gold per hour on volatile water just by farming it in a group, as opposed to doing it by yourself, which Worth It will actually tell you it's about 6,000 gold per hour, so 14,000 gold increase for just doing it in a group. So that's definitely worthwhile, and something you probably should bear in mind wanting to do. So that being the case, I've actually crafted a new update which will be going up on Mission Brutusaur, is farm to craft mounts. And basically, once we've actually crafted a Vial of the Sands or another mount, we'll put it in here, and that group will then be used in an operation for posting, and that will be farm to craft poster, and that is for farm to craft mounts group. And basically what it's going to do is it will set its post cap to 2, so it will only post 2 at one time on the auction house, and it will always keep 1 in our bags at the bare minimum. So that being the case, it will obviously post at DB min buyout, so we can actually try and get some regular sales on them. But other than that, is definitely going to be worthwhile overall. So what we're going to need to do now to craft the rest of the potions is we're going to have to buy a 10 ton of these ones, and that means we're going to have to turn off the TSM thing, because that is going to get on my nerves. But at the end of the day, with our basic rep, with our basic Alden McCord rep, we've actually lowered the cost of these just by getting our rep up to friendly. So it's now, instead we're saving 250 gold from the Pyrium laced crystal veil vial, and then that's pretty damn good overall. So what I can do is I'll buy 10 of those Pyrium-based crystal vials, and then I have to buy 80 sands of time. So we've got some money saved, so that's pretty damn good. We've saved 14,000 gold from that already just by being friendly, so that's pretty damn good. The next stage is to go back into our alchemy and craft our flasks of winds, which we need 80 of each. So that being the case, let's just buy out some of the crystal vials. So we're just going to buy 200 of those, and then we can then use that moving forward. So that being the case, we can then use that and then make all of these. So we're going to create all flasks of winds, and then we can then just keep going along with all of this. Now going on to crafting our flasks of titanic strength, which is our last part to creating the vial of the sands. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over to vial of the sands once again, and at this moment in time we can craft one, and then gradually it will actually tell us that we can craft 2, and then we'll get up to our 10 of the vial of the sands that we're actually going to be crafting. This obviously is a very rare recipe to get a hold of, and it's really damn hard to get a hold of overall, so it is something you may want to bear in mind when you're actually going about trying to do this, because if it's going to take a while, it's really going to take a while in order to do. But aside from that, we're definitely going to be making quite a lot of these, so I'm really not overly too fussed with the amount of what's actually going to be going about. So at this moment in time, we've bought all of our different types of stuff. I don't know why I pressed bag value, because it will give us the wrong bag value as the market value for that Pyrium-based vial. Someone's selling it on the auction house for 12,000 gold. But definitely well worth it to actually farm up all of these different types of materials. We are currently halfway to creating 5 of a vial of the sands. Now that being the case, this is definitely going to be well worth it. We've got 5 more potions to craft, and yeah, pretty much. This is going to be a pretty long-winded video, I can tell for sure. But we now can craft 10 of the vial of the sands, so not too bad. We can then craft that right there and just craft our vial of the sands. At the end of the day, we're crafting 10 of these things, so they're definitely going to be worth an awful lot of gold once we've actually done that. And we're going to completely value these guys as well once we have sent over all of our remaining materials, because we don't want to skew with our results. So we've got our leftovers from our farming, so we'll send that back over to Cortana, as well as 40 more deepstone oil. So basically we've got 41 deepstone oil for our next craft. So that's like half of what we actually need, because we need 80 of the deepstone oils in order to actually craft 10 more vial of the sands. So now we have 10 vial of the sands. They're valued on my realm map 43,999 gold. And what we're going to do is we're just going to value it, and its current value, if we sold them all today, is 440,000 gold. So not too bad for just running it and just getting them all done. We're going to send these over to Giblet now, because we definitely want to actually post these all to the auction house. Well, not all of them at once. We definitely want to be able to craft loads more with that. Basically, this is just an update video that we hit our target on crafting all 10 vial of the sands. Now we are going to be moving on to the next one, which is dun, 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 dun. We're going to be crafting 10 Mechanirs choppers while we're actually selling our vial of the sands, and then we can then work on that while we're getting that rep up to decrease the gold even further. So instead of 29,000 gold, I didn't realise that the friendly would reduce the actual gold as well. So even if you're at friendly, you've got a reduction of gold. Like, we've saved 14,000 gold just by getting to friendly. I can't complain. It's all a bonus and definitely worthwhile. I didn't actually expect that. One thing I will do, however, is I will definitely move, as we're going to be doing this more and more, I'm going to get rid of my potions master thing, and I'm going to probably go with a transmute master, or I will go with my elixir master. We craft more flasks than we do transmutes, so I'll probably go with the flask master. and I'll probably just weigh out the pros and cons with that later on in the day. But aside from all of that, guys, that's pretty much what we've done. We've crafted 10 Vial of the Sands, so objective achieved and the week is not over. So let's get to work on the Mechanized Chopper. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.